everyone. I'm Devina Ortega, a senior here at iPoly High School. I am also someone with a lot of ambition and someone with a lot of drive and determination. I aspire to be a Supreme Court justice one day. I want to mentor young girls that are walking in my footsteps, being a middle-class citizen. But in order to achieve my goals, I have to follow the rules of society, meaning a lot of people think success is defined by wealth and riches, but that's not true. It's a common mistake to think that life is built off of success and it's built off of wealth and riches, because there's been a path for humans and for citizens to follow. You be success by being rich, you be success by being popular, you have success by basically just being everyone's know-it-all. But I am here to show you 3 different keys that prove otherwise. 3 different keys that show that being a middle-class citizen or lower, like a lower-class citizen, you can still be successful and you don't need riches or wealth. So for me, I have a lot of goals, like I said. But in order for my goals to be met, I have to have a high SAT score to go to college at USC, or need to pay expenses for an SAT prep course that are extremely expensive. And I need to have tuition and all of these things that kind of are factors that push people down from reaching their success. But since success is subjective and you define your own success, I define my own success, there's no limit as to where we can go in our own life. My definition of success is waking up and inspiring people, waking up and living my life to God's will, waking up and being able to show other people that are looking up to me, or if they walk and they see me, that this girl has come from a past. This girl doesn't need to be rich, doesn't need to be wealthy in order to make a difference in the world. So let's look at these 3 quotes. Next slide. Okay. They didn't survive by eating each other. They survived by being resourceful. And no, this isn't a quote from the Hunger Games. So another quote is, opportunity doesn't knock, it presents itself when you beat down the door. And the last quote is, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go with others. So next slide, please. Each one of these quotes represents something. They all have an overlaying theme that defines what the quote itself is. So the first quote that I read is about enterprising. The second quote that I read was about believing. And the third quote I read is about networking. So next slide, please. Enterprising. The definition of enterprising is to be resourceful, and that could be from a variety of things. Resources doesn't necessarily have to be the soil on the ground or the water in the sky or anything like that. It doesn't necessarily have to be scientific. But for example, Bill Gates, he was resourceful. He was a nerd in a garage. He woke up, rolled out of bed, morning breath and all, and studied. And he worked, and he was in his garage trying to create something, and he did. He became a nerd to a billionaire, and he did that by being an enterpriser. And he found his resources in his garage, and he worked with people around him. Another example is King David from the Bible, and it's really ancient, but it's true, and it's just something that's an example that we never really consider. So he was a shepherd, woke up, just like Bill Gates would, rolled out of bed, and he tended his sheep. But what he also did is he became a king. So he had all of these lower class, middle class like resources with him, but he obtained them and became a king. He was really good at military strategies. He was smart. He learned how to speak in front of people. He used his inner resources to become successful to his own self. Next slide, please. Networking. So the definition of networking is to be able to interact with people, and you are just talking to a person, seeing what you can offer for them, what they can offer for you. You're getting to know somebody, and you're looking at your surroundings and saying, hey, I know this person is in this area. You don't need money to go and talk to them. You're not paying for their conversation with you. You just open your possibilities up and you look around. And even if you don't think that they have anything to offer to you, you share your ideas. You're being resourceful within yourself, and you're showing that you can go out and talk to people, and there's no problem with that. And that people are there for you to listen, and you're there for them to listen. And you're just networking and making connections and building relationships that can last a lifetime. And I know stories from people that have been in middle school and in high school, in college, and now they're in jobs, and they still have those connections from those same people that they met when they were in elementary school. It's basically just keeping that connection with people, building relationships, and that doesn't require money. You can be a middle class and lower class citizen, and you can have all of these connections, especially with social media these days. There's so much networking going around that you don't need to have any finances to talk to someone. You just use your body, your voice, and you can create success by your definition that way. Next slide, please. The third key is believing in yourself. So the definition of believing is to have faith or confidence in the existence of what it's worth. So basically, you're believing in something. Nobody else believes what you believe except you. You believe in your goals. You can believe in yourself. You can believe in your dreams. And so by that, finding resources in your own self. You can believe in your own self, your own morals, your own values. No one has to tell you that. That's all yourself. You can't go out in the world and expect to be confident if you're not confident in yourself. You have to know that I know what I want, I know my goals and my dreams, and I know how to get there. And I know that because you're believing in yourself. Another thing is seeing opportunities before it happens, to be proactive and to have an active mind. And so you're walking to school, you're going to work, you're going to church, you're going to a community event. Wherever you're going, you're thinking, I believe in myself, I have confidence, because you never know what people are thinking about you. You never know if they're having a negative connotation to you. You don't know if they're looking at you positive, but if you have confidence and you believe in yourself, you can be successful in your own goals and your own dreams. Next slide. So everybody got a program as they walked through the door. So can you please take out your program? In the back of the program, there should be a section for notes. Get out a pen or a pencil in your purse or your wallet or whatever you have it. And if you don't, there should be passing out pens if you don't. So raise your hand if you don't have a pen or a pencil. So one over here, one in the back, and one in the front. Just wait a second. Okay, so for those of you that do have your pens, so on those pieces of lines, write 3 goals that you have. I'll give you about a minute to write 3 goals that you have. It can be in any aspect of your life. It can be as small or as big as you would like. So just write 3 goals. I'm having you write goals because it's been statistically proven that when you write your goals out, you actually achieve them. Like the Huffington Post said, 80% of people that write their goals down actually achieve their goals. Because you can think about it, but there's a million things in the world that your brain is constantly thinking that if you don't write it down and reference it, it's less likely to be obtainable. So I'm asking you guys to write 3 goals down, whatever, or your dreams, or anything. Now that you've written it down, or are writing it down, next slide, please. I want to show you guys that your dreams and your goals that you just wrote down on that piece of paper, they're obtainable with these 3 things. Enterprising, being your own enterpriser, believing in yourself, and networking. You have those 3 things. They're free. Middle-class citizens, lower-class citizens, you can become successful. Like Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak, they were working together and they created Apple, and they're still imparting into people's lives, and it's still a really rich and expensive company, but they didn't have a whole lot of resources to start off with. And so they wrote their dreams down and their goals down. They made it happen. They networked with a lot of people. They believed in themselves. And most of all, they were their own entrepreneur, their own enterpriser. So my advice for you today is to go out, be your own entrepreneur, and to use these 3 things, use these 3 keys in your life. And you'll see that your dreams will become more obtainable to you. So thank you for listening.